Welcome back to the LeverUp AMA series. I'm Marcus, here with James from the LeverUp team. James, today we're talking about fair launch. And I want to start with the word itself because fair launch gets used pretty loosely in this space. What does it actually mean here?
Fair here has a specific definition, not a vibe. In LeverUp Fair Launch, every contributor receives tokens at the same per-unit price, the minimum price of the launch. There's no privileged cohort that gets in at a lower price and can sell into everyone else later. Anyone who sells below that shared entry price realizes a loss, same as anyone else would.
So it's not about everyone clicking the same button at the same time.
Right, that's actually a common misconception about what fair means in a launch context. Equal access to a contribute button can still produce an unfair outcome if insiders or faster wallets got in earlier at a lower price. Fair launch removes that specific structural advantage: no private rounds, no tiers, no discounted allocations before the public stage. Contribution size changes how many tokens you get, not the price you pay per token.
Does that mean everyone's guaranteed to make money?
No, and it's worth being direct about that. Once the asset is live, the market moves in either direction. Fair launch doesn't promise profit or eliminate volatility. What it removes is a cheaper class of tokens sitting there ready to be sold into everyone else on day one. Fairness here means equal terms, not a guaranteed outcome.
Walk me through how it actually works mechanically.
A builder creates a plan, a target amount of LVMON, a time window, token launch parameters, and an incentive recipient wallet. Contributors then deposit LVMON directly or contribute MON, which converts to LVMON at a 1:1 ratio through the native path.
And once the target's hit,
If the target is reached, a keeper executes the launch through Nad.Fun. The raised LVMON covers the Nad.Fun creation fee, buys out the bonding curve, and seeds the resulting DEX pool. So a successful raise doesn't just complete a fundraise, it produces a token with live, tradable liquidity from the moment it launches. Every contributor gets that same per-unit price regardless of when during the window they contributed.
what if the target isn't reached?
Contributors can claim a full refund of their LVMON. There's no partial launch scenario. Live raises can't be refunded early, and launched plans can't be refunded after the fact. It's deliberately legible. One minimum price, one visible set of terms, and a known outcome either way.
Why build this on top of Nad.Fun instead of standing up a separate launch stack?
Because Nad.Fun already has working token creation and bonding curve infrastructure, and there's no reason to fragment execution across another isolated venue when that exists. The keeper routes successful launches through Nad.Fun's existing rails. LeverUp's job is the layer that infrastructure doesn't provide on its own: the visible builder plan, the LVMON or MON contribution flow, the one minimum price guarantee, the refund path, and a visible post-launch incentive wallet. Reusing what already works lets LeverUp focus on the rules and incentives that make participation fairer.
Let's talk about that incentive wallet, because fairness on day one only matters if there's something worth sticking around for on day 100.
Exactly the idea behind it. The contract first reserves the tokens claimable by fair launch contributors. The remaining Launchpad-held tokens then go to the builder's incentive wallet. That's not a fixed percentage. It scales with the launch's market cap, the target LVMON amount, and available token supply, so a larger, harder-to-reach target results in a larger reserved share for the builder. Builders also receive 90% of post-launch trading fees generated on Nad.Fun, with the remaining 10% going to the platform.
How does a contributor actually know what a builder's going to do with that budget?
The recipient wallet is visible on-chain before anyone contributes, so contributors can evaluate who controls it and what the builder says they'll fund: product development, early user rewards, contributor payments, community programs, liquidity, whatever the plan states. Visibility isn't a guarantee of execution. Nobody can force a builder to do what they said. but it creates a transparent runway people can actually check instead of a black box.
Why LVMON, specifically as the asset at the center of all this?
Fair Launch uses LVMON as the launch pair and participation asset, with the MON contribution path feeding into that same LVMON accounting flow. More credible launches happening through this system can increase demand for and active use of LVMON. As more MON and LVMON participate across the system, the staking reward flows available to stakers can expand alongside that. And if launches produce durable assets with real trading activity, that activity can also feed into protocol fees, trader incentives, and LV buybacks.
That sounds like a chain of can and if. I want to flag that because it's not a guarantee.
It's not, and I'd rather say that directly than oversell it. These are directional relationships, not guaranteed outcomes. Staking yield, fees, buybacks, trading activity, all of that depends on real participation actually showing up on the other side. LVMON sits at the center of Fair Launch because it connects launch demand to a system that already exists. Staking, collateral, and buyback mechanics we've covered elsewhere, not because Fair Launch is designed to extract value from contributors.
So what does an existing LeverUp user actually get out of this? Someone who's not launching anything or contributing to a raise.
More launches by themselves don't benefit existing users. What benefits them is a fair launch producing assets and communities that stay active after launch day. LVMON stakers may see broader reward flows as more MON and LVMON enter productive use. Traders gain new markets and new sources of activity. LV participants benefit when real fee generation supports buyback-linked incentives. And successful assets may later become eligible for LeverUp markets or the Any Collateral program, but only after clearing the same liquidity, oracle, and risk standards any other asset has to meet.
So it's not more launches equals more value. It's specifically durable activity after launch day.
That's the relationship Fair Launch is meant to have with the rest of the protocol. The same starting price protects new contributors on day one. Visible runway supports builders who actually intend to stick around. And durable post-launch activity, not the raw number of launches, is what creates value for everyone already using LeverUp.
James, that's a clear-eyed rundown, including the parts that aren't guaranteed. Appreciate it.
Anytime.